What if everything you know about success is wrong? Over 3 decades of chasing dreams, making mistakes, and learning the hard way, I've discovered 5 life-changing secrets that turned me around, and they can work for you too. I'll keep it simple and honest. This is just one person, me, speaking honestly about what truly matters. You might be 25 or 65, a student or a CEO. These secrets are universal, grounded in real life. I've lived long enough to see each of these truths prove themselves in my own life and in the lives of people I care about. Secret 1. The power of tiny habits. In all my years, the biggest breakthrough came from realizing that big changes start small. I used to think transformation required massive effort, until I discovered James Clear's words that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. In other words, tiny actions add up to huge results over time. For example, I began by reading 1 page of a book daily, simply to build a reading habit. Within months, I couldn't imagine missing that page. One coach described how, in his own journey, the power of using baby steps to evolve into full-blown habits was a total game changer. The trick is to make it so easy that skipping the habit feels weird. I even started with 1 push-up each morning. On days I said, I'm too tired, I reminded myself, I can't skip my 1. Before I knew it, I was doing 20 without thinking. Those little wins really add up. I've realized tiny habits have carried me from clueless to confident, one day at a time. Secret 2. Failures are fuel. If I had taken every failure to heart, I'd be a basket case by now. After 35 years, I know mistakes aren't dead ends, they're stepping stones. This fits the growth mindset Carol Dweck describes. People with a growth mindset see setbacks as a chance to learn. Studies even show that when those people make mistakes, their brains literally grow more. Thomas Edison exemplified this. After thousands of failed light bulb tests, he said, "We had learned something. The thing couldn't be done that way, we would have to try some other way." Those words stuck with me. I remember bombing a job interview in my 20s. It crushed me. But instead of giving up, I reviewed what went wrong, practiced, and nailed the next one. Now every setback feels like tuition. I learn and move forward. Secret 3. Do less but better. For decades I chased more projects, more meetings, more everything. Eventually it nearly broke me. The game changer was adopting an essentialist mindset, focusing on what's truly important. Greg McKeown puts it bluntly, do less but better, so you can make the highest possible contribution. It sounds counterintuitive, but learning to say no has been life-changing. In fact, one reviewer said McKeown makes a compelling case for achieving more by doing less, and reminds us that having the clarity to say no is both critical and undervalued. I once turned down a tempting consulting offer so I could finish writing a book I loved. It felt scary, but it freed me to do my best work. That focus lifted a weight off my shoulders. Secret 4. Cultivate gratitude every day. I won't pretend productivity is just spreadsheets and to-do lists. For long-term success, mindset is everything. One surprising truth I learned is that gratitude fuels positivity. When I started each day listing things I'm grateful for, it shifted how I view the world. Science backs this up. Gratitude literally primes you for positivity. Once I was overwhelmed by a stressful deadline, I stopped and listed 5 things I was thankful for: family, health, a warm home, and so on. By the time I returned to work, the stress had melted away. Now I start each morning by writing 1 thing I appreciate, even if it's just a good cup of coffee. These little notes keep me centered. Secret 5. Focus on what you can control. Finally, the secret that ties them all together: own your influence. It's tempting to fret over things outside our control. I used to lie awake worrying about world events or office gossip. But Stephen Covey taught me a better way: focus and act on what you can control and influence instead of what you can't. When I shifted to that mindset, life changed. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? I started asking, what can I do next? We often slip into reactive language, saying I can't or I have to. Instead, Covey teaches using I can or I get to. I changed my self-talk: I get to do this instead of I have to do this. That shift was huge. For example, stuck in traffic, I reminded myself I could use the time to plan my day. Suddenly I wasn't frustrated, I was productive. Each of these 5 secrets transformed my journey, and they're all rooted in simple truths I've lived with for 35 years. I'm not special, I just stuck around long enough to learn them. If you embrace small habits, see failures as feedback, cut out the noise, practice daily gratitude, and focus on your own influence, you'll be amazed at how your life changes. Time is the one thing that only goes forward, so use these truths as your compass. In another 35 years, I bet you'll look back grateful that you started applying them.